Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to be talking about first order differential equations and how to solve them using the integrating factor method. So the first thing you want to know is how do you know that your equation is a first order differential equation? So this equation that I've written down right here is a general form of a first order differential equation, and you want to solve this equation to find y, and y is a function of x. So in the general form, you have a first order derivative, which tells you that this is a first order differential equation. If you had a d square y over dx square, it would be a second order differential equation. If you had a d cube y over dx cube, that would be a third order differential equation, and so on and so forth. But since the highest derivative in this equation is a single derivative of y, we call this a first order differential equation. In the general form, p of x and q of x are arbitrary functions of x, and solving this differential equation is very straightforward. So we'll learn how to solve a first order differential equation using an example. So let's go ahead and do that. So to solve any kind of example, there are 5 steps you have to follow. So let's start with our example. We have to solve the differential equation that is given to us as cos of x dy over dx plus sine of x into y is equal to 1. Now, looking at this equation, we see that there is only a first order derivative in it and no higher order derivatives. So we know that this is a first order differential equation. So now we how to go about solving this. So the first step that you have to take, I'll write down all the steps in green. The first step you have to do is get your equation in general form. And by general form, I mean the general form of a first order differential equation, which, as we wrote down earlier, was something like this: p of x y to y equals q of x. So you can see that the first order derivative has no coefficient, whereas in our example, the first order derivative has a coefficient with it. So let's divide our entire equation with cos of x to remove that coefficient. So what we are left with, dy over dx plus sin x over cos x into y is equal to 1 over cos x. And using some basic trigonometry, we rewrite this as dy over dx plus tan x into y is equal to sec x. So we are done with the first step. Now, the second step that we have to take is find integrating factor. This is the most important step of solving the differential equation. So the integrating factor for first order differential equations, it's a term that is commonly used. But to solve any kind of differential equations, all you need to know that is that the integrating factor is written as e to the power integral of p of x with respect to x. And p of x, as mentioned earlier, is the arbitrary function right here. So comparing these two equations, comparing this equation and then comparing this equation, we can see that the coefficient of the y term, p of x, in our case is this term with y, which is tan of x. So let's just substitute p of x as tan of x. So when we do that, we are left with e to the power tan x dx. The integral of tan x is log of sec x, and this is just a common integral that you should know. And again, right here, the exponential and the log terms cancel out, and what you're left with is just sec of x. Sec of x. So the integrating factor, as I mentioned, is e to the power integral of p of x. Now, Once you have the integrating factor, what you do is the third step is that you multiply your equation with the integrating factors on both sides. And we'll see why we do this in the next step. For now, let's continue with the third step, and we get dy over dx into multiplying the left hand side with the integrating factor. We get dy over dx sec x plus tan of x into sec of x into y, and then multiplying sec of x on the right side again, we get sec square of x. So now that you have this equation, the next step is kind of a clever trick. What we do is we rewrite the left hand side of our equation as a derivative of product of two functions. Don't worry if you don't understand this. What I mean by this is that you take the left hand side of the equation and you write it as a product of, you write it as the derivative of product of two functions. Now what are these two functions? The two functions in our case will be y and sec of x. Now how do you know this? So let's go in reverse. Let's calculate the derivative of this product. So calculating the derivative of this product, you get something like d by dx. So whenever you calculate the derivative of a product, what you do is you leave the first term as it is, you calculate the derivative of the second term. So leave the first term as it is, calculate the derivative of the second term, and then you take the derivative of the first term and leave the second term as it is. So let's simplify this a little more. So we have y, and then the derivative of sec x with respect to x is simply sec x multiplied by tan x, and the second term will remain as it is. Now if you compare this term that we just calculated and then you compare this term that we had earlier, you can see that these two equations match completely. And this is the cleverness of the integrating factor. The integrating factor is calculated such that when you multiply the left hand side of the equation by it, the entire left hand side can be written as the derivative of a product of two functions. And a trick that I use to know what the two functions are, so the first function will always be y, which we have to solve for. So we have to solve the equation for phi y. So the first function will always be y, and the second function will always be the coefficient with the first order derivative. So the coefficient with the first order derivative is sec x, and so the second function in the product will always be that coefficient. So that's just a little trick that I use, and we'll make use of it in the next example. But let's continue ahead. So what we've done is we've rewritten the left hand side as the derivative of product of two functions, and I'll just add the right hand side here for the sake of completeness. On the right hand side we had sec square x, so let's just add that. And now in the fifth step you integrate both sides. So I'll just rewrite the equation. You have d over dx of y into sec x is equal to sec square x. So you integrate both sides of the equation. Integral sec square x, oops I forgot dx is equal to sec square x dx, and on integrating on the left hand side, the integral and the derivative just cancel out and you're left with y into sec of x. And on the right hand side, the integral of sec square x is simply tan x, This is another integral identity you should be familiar with. So we have tan x plus some constant c, which is a constant of integration. And since we want to solve for y, let's divide the entire equation by sec of x. So tan x by sec of x plus c by sec of x. And using some more trigonometric identities, we have y is equal to sine of x plus c cos of x. Here c is just some arbitrary constant. If we want to find out what c is, we need an initial condition, but we won't be doing that for this problem. So now we have solved the first order differential equation and we know what y is as a function of x. So similarly, let's proceed with our next example. So our second example is dy over dx minus y minus x e to the power x is equal to 0. Again, once you see this equation, you notice that there's only a there's only a first order derivative in it and no higher order derivatives. So you know this is a first order differential equation. So let's start solving it. So as I mentioned, the first step that you take is rewrite in general form. So let's not write the steps again. Let's just rewrite the equation directly in its general form. So we have dy over dx minus y is equal to x e to the power x. Just to refresh your memory, the general form is as follows, is equal to q of x. So we've written the equation in its general form. There's no coefficient with the first order derivative. So we have our general form. Let's proceed with the second step. The second step that we had is finding the integrating factor. So the integrating factor, as we know, is e to the power integral of p of x with respect to x. So in our equation, the coefficient of y is -1. So let's just substitute that. So we have e raised to -1 of dx, and this is simply e raised to -x. So now that we have that, we'll do the third step, which was multiply both sides of our equation with the integrating factor. So we have dy over dx into e raised to minus x minus y into e raised to minus x is equal to x e to the power x into e to the power minus x. And we'll simplify this a little more. So we have dy over dx. The left hand side remains as it is, but on the right hand side, these two terms cancel out. We are left with e to the power 0, which is just 1. So an x into 1 is just x. So we rewrite that. Now we go to the fourth step. The fourth step was rewriting the left hand side as a derivative of product of two functions. Now, like I said, the first function will always be y that we want to find out, and the second function will be the coefficient with the derivative term. So in this case, it's e raised to minus x. And you can always check this for yourself, and I think it's a good exercise as well. So once we rewrite the left hand side as so, and the right hand side just as it is, in the fifth step, we integrate both sides. So on integrating both sides, d over dx of y e raised to minus x into x is equal to x dx. So on the left hand side, the integral and the derivative just cancel out, and we are left with just y e raised to minus x, because these cancel out essentially. And then on the right hand side, you integrate, you get x square over 2 plus c, that is a constant of integration. And let's rearrange this a little more to get y. So we multiply both sides by e to the power x. So we are left with x square over 2 into e to the power x plus c e to the power x. On the left hand side, e to the power x and e to the power minus x just cancels out. and we have hence solved for y as a function of x. So this is the general method for solving first order differential equations. If you have any doubts or queries, let me know in the comments down below. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and please share the video. And thank you for listening.